Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my channel. My name is Meg and I am a fully qualified yoga teacher, beautician and a masseuse. And this is my YouTube channel where I talk a lot about yoga, tips and tricks and things that you guys can follow along from home, but also some health and wellness as well. So if that is something that you're interested in, go and hit the subscribe button, and it means every time I post up onto my channel, you guys get a notification so you never ever miss a class with me. Today I am going to be doing a yoga for runners stretch. So if you're someone who runs quite a lot, maybe you're practicing for a marathon, maybe you are someone who just really enjoys going out for a run, this is the video for you. We're going to be stretching through the legs, the hips, the lower back, all the way through the body and a little bit into the arms as well. You don't really need anything to do this class. I always recommend using a good quality mat onto a hard surface, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have that. It's better to stretch and without a mat than to not stretch at all. And other than that, you don't really need anything. You can use blocks, you can use straps if you feel like you need to. And when you're ready, we'll get started. We're going to start twisting through the back. So we're going to sit up straight through the spine, through the hips in your cross-leg seat. Let's take the right hand onto the outside of the left leg and we're going to twist over towards the left. So make sure you're keeping up tall through the spine and through the hips here. And as you breathe, you're expanding through the ribs. Deep breath in. Exhale, come back to the front. We'll do the same the other way. Breathe in, expand through the ribs. Left hand comes on the outside of the right leg, right hand behind. As you exhale, turn to face the back of the room. Imagine someone is pushing on your right shoulder to kind of take you round a little bit further. Expanding through the ribs, keeping tall, don't let yourself fall backwards. And we'll come back to face the front. Let's take the right leg long and keep that left leg in towards you. We're going to do a single leg stretch here, stretching through the right foot. So we're going to flex through the toes, place the hands onto the foot and relax over the legs. So if you want to use a strap here, you can always place your hands on the calf, on the ankle, just melting over the legs. Don't think about trying to get your head to your knee. Think about bringing the chest forwards and down. Breathing here. And we'll come all the way back up. We're going to swap over and do the same on the other side. Left leg comes out, right leg comes in. Deep breath through the body, turning to face that straight leg and exhale to melt over the legs. You can hold on to the calf, the ankle, the shin, whatever feels best for you. Again, think about bringing your chest forwards and down rather than bringing the head down to the leg. Nice stretch here. I always like this stretch because I really feel like it hits into my lower back as well as my legs. And bringing everything back up. We're going to take this into a down dog from here. So let's start in a cross-leg seat. Place the hands in front of you. We're rolling over the knees and over the shins into your tabletop. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Knees are underneath your hips. We're flexing through the toes, bum comes back towards the heels, lifting the knees and lifting all the way up. Take a second here, maybe bend into one knee and then the other. So we're just opening up through the hamstrings here after your run. Getting a little bit more of a stretch in. You can always bend both your knees if you need to when you're in your down dog, and you can always lift your heels, but make sure your hands and your arms are straight and you're really pushing the floor and the mat away from you. Let's roll forwards and take the belly down. We're going to come into our cobra from here. So your hands are underneath your shoulders, pushing up and back into your cobra. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, gazing up towards the ceiling. If you need a little bit of help with your lower back, you can take the legs wider. You can also place your hands in the corners of your mat and lift up to take this into a seal pose instead. If it feels too much on your back, just miss this one out. Gazing up, push the chest forwards if you can. If it feels too much gazing up, gaze forward, but think about pushing your chest out and in front. If you can, we're going to flex the toes, lead with the lower belly to push all the way back up into your down dog. Breathing here. We'll lift up the right leg and we're going to step it up to the top of the mat, coming into your lunge. Let's bring the back knee down. Take this into a low lunge. So your front knee should be directly above your toes, hands at either side of the foot, and your back knee then slid behind to give you a nice stretch into your hip. Breathing here. Couple more breaths. Maybe lifting up the back foot from here. So we're going to take this, the left leg lifted. Use your muscles to squeeze the foot in towards you here. You should feel a really good stretch now into the quad as well as into your hip. Using your muscles here, I always think this is a really good way. Instead of using your hand or using a strap to pull the foot in, you use your muscles. You're still gaining that flexibility, but you're also gaining strength as well. Couple more breaths. And we'll take that back foot down. So we're back into our low lunge. And then we're going to shuffle the hips back and behind. Coming into your half split, picking up the toes, pulling your right hip back and behind. So you're coming into a good stretch here. Your hips should be nice and even. Soft bend behind the knee, so your leg should not be completely locked out. Should be a nice soft bend behind the leg. Deep breath in. We'll roll back forwards, and we're going to take the hands, both of them on the inside of the leg, to come into more of a lizard. You can always walk the foot further out, so your heel is down into the mat, your toes are hanging off the edge, into your lizard lunge. Maybe rocking from side to side here, getting a bit of movement through those hips. Come back up into the center. We'll shuffle the hips back a little bit, but just enough so you can lift up your foot and step it back and behind. So we're coming back into our tabletop. We're going to take this into our down dog again. So flex the toes, bum comes back towards the heels, lift the knees and lift up all the way. We're going to pick up the left leg this time and step it up to the top of your mat. Into your lunge again. So your hands are either side of the foot, and we're bringing the back knee down to come into your low lunge. Your hand should be either side of the foot, and your knee should be directly over your ankle. Breathing here. Relaxing into those hips. And if you want a little bit more, we're going to pick up that right foot, squeezing it in towards you, getting a good stretch into your hip. Such a good stretch. Breathing here, we'll do a couple more breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out. Let's take that foot down. We'll rock the hips back. We come into our half split from here. So we're picking up the toes, squeezing the foot up in towards the shin, pulling your left hip back and behind. Soft bend behind that left knee. You can walk the hands in with you here, so your hands do not have to be out and in front. Obviously, if they are, you're going to get a deeper stretch. So if you want to walk them further in or place them on blocks, you can do. We'll roll forwards again. Let's take the hands on the inside of the foot. And we'll walk the foot maybe further out. So your heel is down onto the edge of the mat and your toes are hanging off at a 45-degree angle. And your hands are underneath your hips. Maybe rock from side to side here. Stretch through that hip. Going back into the center. We'll shuffle the hips back just enough so you can pick up that left foot and step it back into a tabletop. Hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. Flexing the toes, bum comes back towards the heels, lifting the knees, lifting all the way up into your final down dog for this class. We're then going to walk the feet up to the top of the mat, only lifting the palms of the hands when you need to. Relaxing over the legs. We're going to take this into a ragdoll, soft bend behind the knees. Hands are coming onto the elbows. Maybe swing from side to side here. And then we'll let go of the elbows and take the hands down into the mat. We'll heel toe the feet so that your heels are down into the mat and your toes are hanging off the edge. So they're just slightly wider than hip width. And then we'll bring the bum all the way down. We're coming into our Malasana squat here. Bending into those knees and trying to push the knees out so they're in line with your second toe of your foot. Your hands can come down into the mat in front of you onto a block, or if you can hold it and you can keep your heels down, you're nice and strong and your back is straight, you can bring your hands in at heart center. If you're bent over like this, please do not bring the hands in at heart center. Only do it if you can lift your chest up high and you're nice and strong in this movement. And that's when you can then focus on pushing your knees back and behind. Breathing here. Malasana squat, yogi squat, lovely, perfect movement for the hips. Stick the bum out behind, squeeze the shoulder blades together, push the knees back. Deep breath in. Exhale, we'll place those hands down and push all the way back up into your standing position. We're going to come down and come into a staff pose from here. So let's swing the legs out and in front, coming onto our bottoms. Staff pose, sitting up tall through the spine, through the hips. Exhale, we're going to melt over the legs, grabbing hold of the toes, the shins, the ankles. You can use a strap here again. Relaxing over the legs. Let's keep those toes flexed to begin with. And then maybe point into those toes, getting more of a stretch into the tops of the feet. We'll come all the way back up. And then we're going to step the right foot over the left, coming into a twist. The left hand comes on the outside of the right leg. Right hand comes behind, twisting to face the back of the room. Keep tall through the spine and the hips. Breathing into the chest. And we'll swap over to the other side. And then we'll come back to the front. Maybe relax over the legs if you need to here. Correct the spine back out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe if you haven't already. It means so much to me when you guys support me, whether you're liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, even watching these videos. And you can also send me super thanks as well if you'd like to contribute to this channel and to this lesson. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to practicing with you all again soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.